Hey everyone, welcome back to Paul's Model Works. I have got another tip video here that I wanted to make for you all. I've had a couple of my subscribers ask me how I make my little mini magazines that I put inside of my cars. And so it's really simple, and I just wanted to share with you all how I do it. First thing I do is really you just get on Google and do a search for whatever magazine you're wanting to do. Depending on what the model is that I'm building will depend on what kind of magazines I want to use, whether it's a rat rod or a muscle car, some kind of custom, just different kind of magazines you're going to have for that kind of stuff. So just say, for example, you're building, a muscle car or a hot rod. Well, then just go on Google, type in hot rod magazine cover, and you'll get all the magazine covers from the hot rod magazine that you could even want to find, and they're all right there for you. And then just save those images right off of Google onto your computer, and then you'll just open them up in, if you've got a photo editor. I use Photoshop, but if you don't have access to Photoshop, then you can put them in to any kind of editing program you have on your computer. I mean, I think you could even put them into Word and just scale the picture down, size it down to whatever size it needed to be for you, and then you'd be able to do that. For my purposes, and just doing magazines, what I have found is that if I scale them down to 1 inch wide, or excuse me, half an inch wide, then they come out to be just about the right size to be in scale for your 1/24, 1/25 scale models. This here is a sheet of models that are, a sheet of magazines that I have done, and what I do is I go on and I just, like I said, pick out the magazine, and then once I have them on my document and sized down, then I'll just make a whole bunch of them on there repeatedly, and that way I can print out a sheet and I've just got more than I need, so I can use them for future builds and anything like that. And you can see here they're all just half inch wide, and that's just about right. There's some of the ones I've cut out there and used, you can do any kind of magazine that you could imagine for any kind of model that you would want to do. What else is cool about this is that you can do other stuff besides magazines this way too. My Henry J that I just built, I had all of those different street signs and metal signs and things like that inside of it, and that's all just stuff that's printed off of the internet. Google is such a great resource for that kind of stuff. Just go in there and print it off, and scale it down to the size you need. And a lot of that is just trial and error. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll pull off the stuff I want and I'll put it on there, and I'll scale it down to whatever size I think looks right, print it off, and I'll realize, oh, that's too big for my model, and so I'll have to go back and I'll scale it down a little bit more. And then I might put like 3 or 4 of the same thing on there and make them all different sizes, and then when I print it out, whichever one looks like the right size, then I'll make everything else kind of match with that size, and usually it comes out pretty good. So that's all I really do when it comes to making my magazines and paper products like that inside of my models. It's really simple. Just then once you're done, you just cut them out and stick them in with, I just use a little bit of white Elmer's glue, and it stays. So hopefully that'll help some of you guys out that are wanting to know how I did that, and you guys will be able to start putting magazines and different things like that in your models. So thanks for watching, and until next time, keep building those awesome models.